Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody. They're chatting away over there.
Doris and I were just having a little meeting back in the back to see who gets raises this year and who gets, no, never mind. But anyway, I love that.
Well, thank you.
It's real nice.
It's piggies.
Well, how about that? We have a little, I don't know what we got going here, but
It's
anyway.
sort of a summer
we
thing.
both decided
summer
today.
Thing, like a barbecue.
Well,
Pig and
that's it.
watermelon.
And I like that shirt.
Thank you. You know who gave that to me?
No.
Laban.
Did he really?
Yes, he did.
Well, he had good taste.
Yes, he did.
That's a pretty shirt.
Thank you.
Well, let's see what it is we're supposed to be doing today on the Great Cookin'
We certainly
Cheap
brought
Show.
all the... Hello. Oh, sorry. Bye-bye.
You want to send her into the
Sure.
rafters?
Whoa, there she goes, baby.
Sometimes they pick her up out at Woodrum Field
Really?
on radar.
Woodrum
That's
Field.
right.
We have
Whatever
just
that
dated
is. I've
ourselves.
just dated myself. What is it now? The Roanoke International?
Regional Airport.
International Airport and truck stop. Dear guys, your show just about takes the cake. Well, hey, what a great idea. Bake a cake from scratch. A loyal viewer in Bonsack.
I love bonsai.
And we're going to do that. It's a beautiful spot. It really is a beautiful spot. I'm going to be doing a red velvet cake. You know, in all the years I've been doing this show for 20 years or so, I've never done a red velvet cake ever on the show. And
It's
that's
a
why we chose this
personal
one.
fave, you know.
Irene Callis from Roanoke, Virginia sent that in.
I'm doing heavenly individual chocolate cheesecake. Yum-o.
Well, is it a lot of work?
No.
It looks real
No,
labor
it isn't.
intensive.
It's really pretty good. It's from Dolly Mullins of
Yeah.
Wise, Virginia.
And
The lovely Doris. The lovely Doris.
lovely
is.
Doris is doing caramel fudge cake, which looks beautiful. She's already made it up and brought it in today. Sent in by, how would you say that? Sumaire Nicole Davis?
Yeah, that's good.
Summer? Oh, that's how you, Summer? S-U-M-M-I-R-E? Summer Nicole Davis from Hurt, Virginia.
It's a pretty name.
That's a mighty fancy name. It really is.
It's right pretty, too.
Go to it.
Okay, first thing I'm going to do is make our little graham cracker crust for these. You take 1/4 cup of graham cracker crust, a tablespoon of melted margarine or butter, and
don't
2
think I should be using
teaspoons of sugar. And just mix all that together. Then we're going to put them in the muffin tin. I know I'm not supposed to move things, but I'm going to do it real slowly. A muffin tin, paper lined, and you put it in the bottom and up the sides about half an
made it
inch.
that way at home.
So I'm going to go ahead and get a tablespoon of butter and throw it in the old microwave and melt that little baby like you can't believe. And here I go. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I'm going to the microwave. One time, baby. Okay.
Oh,
Go there.
I'm still talking to Doris. We have just a bit of a problem over here. She's not, I am. But it's okay, we'll get past it. Well, I see that she's brought in this big fancy piece of equipment again that I'm one of these days going to, she's hoping that I'm going to lose an arm or something on this thing. We're going to start out with a 1/2 cup of shortening. I'm going to use a little oil. We've had a big argument about that. 1 1/2 cups of sugar and 2 eggs. So we'll start with the sugar, the eggs, and the, let's see, 1 1/2 cups of sugar. This takes quite a bit of stuff.
Whoa.
And we're going to put that in there, and you're just going to cream all of that. 1 1/2. This is a wonderful cake. I had never made a red velvet cake before.
And you may never again, yes.
I may never again. But it is an awful lot of work.
But it's well
And
worth it.
I must say that
It's a, oh,
Irene,
bless you.
your heart. Irene, if she makes this for her family all the time, she should receive some sort of an award.
Maybe she
really
does.
should. Oh, listen to Doris saying, "Oh, that's easy. There's nothing to it. Just nothing to it at all." I'm going to mix that around just a little bit. I was wondering if there was. Oh yes, thank heavens. I'm going to cream this stuff for, would you warm that up for me for the icing? You didn't think I could find a way around it, did you? Oh, that's looking real pretty.
What are
As
you
you
all
can
doing?
probably see how pretty that looks. And then we've got to start, you beat that until it's fluffy. I think it could be more fluffy, so I'm going to go a little bit faster with it. And then we're going to add coloring and vanilla next. The coloring is great fun. It can get all over you, you know.
Those things are dangerous.
It calls for, I can't find it, but how much red food? 2 ounces.
Ooh.
Don't you think that, that's like the whole thing, isn't it? It's even more than that? It's even bigger than that? It isn't going to be any redder than I'm going to make it right now, so put that in there. I used up all of mine at home.
Hence the name,
And went out
Red
and bought
Velvet.
another one. So, boy, this red velvet cake really does take it out of you. Die number 2. Here you go. All right, so let's watch that go around.
Do you remember
Get
that
real
big
pretty.
old scare with... Is that still
Yesterday?
going on?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think they've made it safe now. I think they have.
I was just a child when
They've
that
taken
happened.
all the stuff out of it that used to kill you. And isn't that wonderful? Oh, it's just getting just as red as could be. Huh? 2 of those. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, we got to add some vanilla, too. A teaspoon of vanilla. Teaspoon of vanilla. Goes in there at this point. Boom! That goes in there. And mix that around a little bit. Doug, you got something you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just finishing up these little graham cracker crusts, and you just push them up the side there. Aren't they pretty? Now, I think you can actually make this individual cheesecake. You could probably go even bigger than the miniature ones that I'm doing today, but I'm doing them small because I'm going to have a small tea later on this evening. Just kidding. I just thought I'd try to pawn off some idea on y'all. And you put that aside. Aren't they lovely? See? Very pretty. There we go. Now we're going to start our filling of cream cheese. So you take 3 ounces of cream cheese, add to that 2 tablespoons
Flour.
of sugar. And I did this with a fork at home. I didn't have to use any electrical appliance at all, like Larry's doing, because he has 47
Oh, I have
appliances
tons of.
over there.
I have tons.
So I'm just doing this, and there we go. We're going to be creaming this into the... What are you doing over there?
I just broke the handle off the cup.
Oh, Lord.
It just snapped right off. I'm now going to add some flour to this. 2.5 cups, 2 1/4 cups. Put that in there at this point. And I'm also going to add some liquid to it here in just a second. 2 1/4. That's 2 1/4 right there.
And cream, cream, cream. Oops.
And I also need to add a cup of buttermilk.
Ooh, yummy. I'm going to take 1/3 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, throw them in the microwave, and melt them. See, none of that double boiler stuff. I mean, come on,
Good
folks.
for you.
Can't be bothered. So here we go.
You going to melt that now?
Yes, I am.
He's melting it. I have to made a little bit of a mess here with the buttermilk. I got to add some more stuff in here too. Okay, we've got the shortening, the sugar, the eggs, the buttermilk. Plain flour is what you're using. 2 level tablespoons of cocoa goes in at this point.
Imogene?
Imogene and all the rest of the family. 1, 2, that goes in there. A teaspoon of salt. Do you have some salt over there?
I don't. I'm so sorry.
I'm sure we have some
I have
on the
some
set
salted butter.
somewhere.
Would that
The
help you?
salt lady is going to get it even as we
Going to the
speak.
salt mines.
Oh, thank
It's out
you.
the back here of the station.
Teaspoon of salt.
You know, we used to be called Big Lick down in this area.
Oh, that is true. This was the
So
big
they're
lick,
right out in the backyard.
because this is where all the deers came to lick the salt.
Oof. That was close, ladies and gentlemen. We could have been in big trouble with that one.
This is supposed to be a part of the secret of this cake that I'm getting ready
Ow.
to do right now. I have so much stuff, I keep having to put it back there. what you have to do is, this is a chemical thing. Did you ever do this in school?
No.
That's a chemical thing. You take a tablespoon of vinegar and put it in a little cup, or whatever you want to put it in, and a teaspoon of baking soda.
Well,
and
there
what
you
that
are
does,
earning your money today.
and that gives you a chemical, some kind of a chemical wild thing. Watch it. Oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? And you pour it in the cake. Real quick. Put that right in there. Don't let it go too long.
Mm-hmm.
And while all that's going on, if I put everything in there now, I don't seem to have an awful lot of stuff left over. Did I put the sugar in it? Yeah, I put the sugar in it because I creamed the sugar with everything else. Okay, so I sort of lost control of this entire thing. So anyway, now what we want to do is flour. I need a little more flour. We're going to flour a couple of round pans, which I'm going to hit with a little bit of this stuff first, and then we're going to flour it real good, and we'll pour it in there. There we go.
I have some melted chocolate. May I throw it in my cream cheese?
Do whatever you have to do.
Thank you so much. Here's the melted chocolate. Throw that now into the cream cheese mixture. Oh, you just know.
No, that's okay. Take your time. How do I get this out?
Isn't that pretty? Okay, get rid of that. Sorry, Jim, about the chocolate.
Excuse me.
And mix that in well.
Doris is helping me. Go back to him. Well, how do you get it off of there? Oh.
Oh, these two over here, it's like the frickin' frack show.
Well, I'm having to operate this fancy equipment that she brings in, and I get to use it once a month or two, whether I need to or not. And so she has to kind of explain to me. I'm not getting it on you. And so she kind of has to explain to me how to get the stuff off of it and put the stuff on it. Whoops. I'm just going to shake a little of this. Go ahead, Doug.
Thank you so much. Now you add Uno egg and a half a teaspoon of vanilla. And this makes your filling. I think I've lost control of these two today.
We're just working ourselves into a froth over here. She had to come in and get that one. We've got to set up another one now because I got to do icing, and it's just a great deal to it. And what we do now is just pour these into the pans. It would be nice if I got something close to something else on the show today. And
will you finish this by the time we leave?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It'll be great. It'll be great. I've already got the worst of it done now. Or the best of it done, some might say, but anyway, worst, best. So anyway, and then you put this in the oven and bake it at, I think it's 325, yeah, for about 30 minutes. Or you can do the old toothpick thing, which is what I always do to make sure that's right. Or if it just springs up to the touch, it's fine. Oh, it's mighty red, mighty red. And not quite as red as it should be, according to Miss Doris, but it's mighty red. There you go.
Okay, well, I now have my filling, and I'm going to fill the little graham cracker crust.
I've certainly had my fill.
Oh, yeah, so have I. 3/4 of the way filled. And here we go. Ooh, yummo. You're going to bake this in a 350-degree oven for 20-25 minutes, and then let them cool a tad. And then peel off the paper and just wrap your lips around them, as many as you can. And they are so good and so good for you. Well, maybe not that.
That's a very pretty presentation you've got going there, Mr. Doug.
Well, thank you so much.
Let's just concentrate on watching him do that for about 10 minutes.
That's because Larry has nothing else to do.
No, I do have other stuff to do, but I got to get stuff out of the way before I can do it.
Oh, okay. Now, like I said, I think you could probably do this this recipe in different size cups. If you want to make 6 of the regular muffins, I think this recipe will make you 6 of those. There's a medium between the mini ones and the big ones. You can make those. And you could use these for tea parties, for your take them, I'm going to make like tons of them and like take them into the office because, you know, my hounds down there, they just love sweet things and especially chocolate things.
I think we got the Cook sisters today, don't we? Am I correct on that?
Here?
Cook sisters coming up here? I hope so. Well, they will be here in just a couple of minutes. Why don't you give your recipe or something, Doug? Or
I'm still filling.
Let's just do anything.
Okay. Huh? Heavenly individual chocolate cheesecake, graham cracker crumb shells, 1/4 cup graham cracker crumbs, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon margarine butter melted. Filling, 3 ounces soft cream cheese, 2 tablespoons sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 egg, and 1/3 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Why don't you read mine too while you're at it?
Well, where is yours? I just didn't brought mine. Because I really don't care about yours. I have enough trouble with my own. Why should I worry about yours?
I need your assistance real bad.
Okay,
today.
red velvet cake, 1/2 cup shortening, 1.5 cup sugar. How many eggs? 2? 2 eggs, 1 cup buttermilk, 2 1/4. Sorry, Doris. Why don't you read it, Doris? 2 1/4. It's very small print, ladies and germs. I can't see that great. 2 1/4 cups plain flour, 2 level tablespoons of cocoa, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3, what is that? 2 ounces
of red food coloring, a teaspoon of vanilla, a tablespoon of vinegar, and a teaspoon of baking soda.
I'm still doing mine over here.
That's all right. That's okay. Fluffy icing will be a cup of sweet milk, if you're lucky. 1/4 cup of flour. Ooh. Cup of sugar, cup of shortening, 1/2 cup of shortening, 1/2 cup, 1 stick of butter, and some vanilla. Okay? I'm going to stick some vanilla in there.
You can just
a little bit. Now, do we have the Cook sisters yet? Yeah. Okay, I think the Cook sisters are coming along here momentarily. Mess. That's not working. Hey, broccoli stalks.
Are you talking about my legs?
Hey, Aunt Roxy.
Yeah.
Broccoli stalks.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do have them.
Don't throw the big part of them away.
Why not?
Because you can use them for soup.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess for broccoli soup.
But
wouldn't that be original?
I had never thought of that.
I'm
Tootsie Cook.
I'm Roxy Cook. And we're the Cook sisters. Hello, how are you? I have finished filling these muffin tins. I am now going to go over and stick these in the 350 oven for 25 minutes.
Oh, and I'm just finishing up the last of putting the icing on this cake.
And by some miracle,
it is just beautiful.
It bakes onto a plate.
Oh,
Isn't that amazing?
I don't know. Look at those. Aren't they pretty?
Get your hands off.
Oh. Let me tell you what you're supposed to do with this icing. This is not the way I make icing, but this is the way she makes icing. It's probably better than I do, but let me explain it if you do it the way you're supposed to. You cook milk and flour until thick and cool and add the sugar, shortening, and butter. Don't beat it like I was trying to do. Then you beat it on high speed until fluffy and white and add your vanilla at the last minute. Okay, Doris is here.
I hope so.
I do too. All is not lost when Doris is still around. How you doing, Doris?
I'm doing just fine.
She's been having a giggly good time back here in the back.
Oh, Mike. Anyway, I had to make a caramel fudge cake. It took 1 package of chocolate cake mix, 1 14-ounce package of caramels unwrapped, a 1/2 cup of margarine, 1 14-ounce can sweetened condensed milk, not evaporated milk, 1 cup coarsely chopped pecans. Well, you cook, you mix up your chocolate cake mix, and you pour 1/2 of it in your pan, and then you take the caramel fudge cake, the caramel fudge icing, and pour it on top of it, and then the chocolate. Well, wait a minute, let me go back. This is really.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
She's out of control, ladies and gentlemen. She's got the giggles big time.
Well, first you take the condensed milk and your unwrapped caramels, and you melt them in a pan, and you bake 1/2 of the cake mix. And for 15 minutes, then you pour your caramel mixture on top of it. Then you pour the rest of your cake batter on top of that, and then put your nuts on top of it and bake in the oven for 30 or 35 minutes. Well, I've got a feeling you should keep it in a pan before you take it out, because all the nuts fell off when I tried getting it out of the pan.
There you
because
go.
it just stuck. All that caramel just stuck all over the place.
Oh.
And
You probably got nuts all over the car.
really, no, it was when I got it out of the pan. But you can see.
Ooh, look at that.
See the caramel and whatever in it.
All those
But
different.
It's
Can you see that? All
yeah.
the different flavors.
I think it'll taste good. Okay, and then it was a cake mix, and I don't know. Somebody's gonna have to tell me about a cake mix, because it was so lumpy, and the butter was all in it and whatever, and I'm not sure how that's supposed to look.
We have a special. Thank you, Doris. Appreciate it. We have a special guest. You hear us kidding all the time about Mike Carroll.
How you doing, Larry?
Our audio man. Now, who is running audio now that you're in here? Is it on its own?
Andre.
Oh, he has sneaked down from up there.
He's sneaked out.
Now, in actuality, the reason that we have Mike on today, he would let him come out of the booth behind us.
Even though he said that the woman that sent in the recipe was Irene Callis, my mother's been married again, and so
this is your mama's recipe.
This is my mother's recipe.
And look how pretty that
And
is. This is actually her cake.
Yeah, she's been making it for probably 40 years.
Ooh. So what I'm going to get to taste today is hers, not
Yeah.
mine. Is it
That's why I
exciting?
brought it.
Is this exciting, Bill? You trying to take it back, Mike?
No, I'm diabetic. That's what's funny.
Oh, okay.
Her and I both are diabetics, and we can't have
She
it.
can't even eat this one she makes it?
No, and she makes about 10 of them for Christmas.
No, and I want to tell you, with all the work that
You
it
know.
costs, she's a trooper. Thanks an awful lot. We appreciate you coming in. Well, I can hardly wait. I was curious, however, do we have a knife? I wanted to compare mine to hers. Oh, that's okay. If you get a chance, maybe you can.
Wait. There it is. Hello.
Oh,
How are
hey.
you? I missed you. Where have you been?
I don't know, but I tell you what, these are pretty.
Aren't they nice?
Have you tried one yet?
No, I'm about to, though.
Oh, take a look at this. It has this nice little layer, this little tiny layer of, what is that, a graham cracker crust
Yum.
on the inside.
It's pretty good.
She's laughing. Well,
I don't see
now
the
mine
difference.
is not quite as red as hers is, but that's because I didn't empty,
because
a whole big thing.
You use corduroy instead.
But anyway, I wonder how mine taste compares to hers. I can tell you right off that hers looks a lot fluffier than mine does.
Well, thanks for sharing. I just have to reach over and get it.
No, it's well. It's just a television show.
Yum.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
And Doris's?
Tell me what you think of that one. That's mine.
This be yours?
I tell you what. She knows her red velvet cake.
Chewy.
What?
Chewy.
Do what?
Chewy.
Mine?
No.
Or this thing?
Oh, yeah.
The thing with the caramel. Oh, it is real
Perky.
sticky. It's very sticky. You don't want your children to be around your furniture with this recipe.
Well, yours is equally as wonderful.
Well, did you hear that, Doris? The old laughy thing, you. He likes mine.
It is.
It's pretty good.
It's very good.
It's not as festive and red,
Well,
but it's okay.
almost there. It's sort of
But
burgundy.
It's a little burgundy.
Burgundy velvet
I just
cake.
needed to ratchet up the color just a little bit.
It's lovely.
It doesn't change
The
flavor at all.
taste-
That's right. But a red
taste is
velvet cake
wonderful.
ought to really truly be red. But now this cake will be a lot better if you just go to your television and turn up the red
There you go.
thing on your television. That will be so red and beautiful. You just won't believe. But it's really good. I don't know that mine is as good as hers because she's an old pro at that. It's the first one
Well,
I've
that's the
ever
first
made.
one you did. I congratulate you
Sure.
because I thought it was quite tasty.
I'm telling you.
Yum. I just don't know
It's a
where
good
to start.
deal. Now, how many does this make?
3,900,000. Actually, that little did 12
Okay.
of these, but I think you could make like 6 of the bigger,
big ones?
bigger
Yeah.
ones.
But these are perfect for a party. They're wonderful.
Absolutely, aren't they great?
Well, all is not lost. And
We actually pulled this off. It was a give and take there for a little bit, but who knew?
it was mostly take, not much give. I think I'm
I gave-
out of here.
I gave everything I could give.
Bye.
See
Thanks
ya.
for watching.